I was for any tea for Hanum Ghana Politics Avenue. So, a done that's any Bremen political trending news, the echo and the air, but not right now. No, we call political highways on for us to family. Tea and some Babu was actually a minority leader and a minority leader on one Afenyo Markins and a minority John Kumana in team for joining the lives of the call for. Right now, no Mahama, the president, I call for 350 million Ghana cedis for a blood victim, or 1 year and so a problem be a cause be a call with a call parliament, or Senka, or Mudimu, a Jumoko near the other. Now, I go for a soon, go for morale, go for Muhiam, what every a president, or 3 million, no, to be a minority for Afenyo Markins, then a call for the. Almost NTS na 350 million Muntio Munti 350 million no is Kabia Esso na eno untimi kasa odi eno kwa air flat. It could be say a FIFA baby. Look at this. Go for nyapade go for nyoma na ye ko bo mo na ye dis ye ko bo mo utimi kasa mo montiase all because it's kind of Esso. What about the lives are echo? The properties are echo. Also for like you ready and then share my onion into me and kebi. We am a Mahama Ayariga and go for a fuye papa or more akasem. I mean person me remember so me person me say so. Mommy uncle in kuti and some also a higher Ghana politics avenues. But there will be a
but should we really be prompted? Aside that, should we really be prompted to keep our environment clean?
Well, this is Ghana.
Yeah, I disagree with Mr. Kwesi Pratt.
Okay.
The reason being that a disaster of such nature occurred, the flood. Don't forget the following day, GMET was updating us again that there may be subsequent floods or rains again. And therefore, it was just so impossible or close to impossibility to again want to put people in harm's way and say that, okay, this has happened, let's go out there. So it was only the relevant authorities who were rather mandated to go out there on rescue missions. And so that is what informed the decision, because it could not have been safe putting Ghanaians again in harm's way that just 24 hours or 48 hours after, go out there and do cleaning, when we were told the rains were coming again. It only brings to mind the concern about our waste management, indiscipline, and failure on the side of authorities to enforce the laws rigorously in order to ensure that nobody goes contrary to what is accepted. You know, in the first instance, I want to say here that the NPP needs to look at its leadership in Parliament. They are not helping. It appears Afenyo Markins has still not found his footing well after all what has happened over their presidential candidates and all of that. And also, sincerely speaking, I am confused because I am asking, are they seeking clarity of something they suspect, or they are alleging that they have evidence? Because in what you read at one breath, they said they have evidence that the Attorney General had written. And the MPP that I know would have made that available to you, the media, immediately. They haven't made that available. So they are claiming they have that evidence. Now you have that evidence, and you're again asking that they should come out and state clearly if, I mean, for Christ's sake. And you see, when you do these things, Ghanaians laugh at you. And Ghanaians get to realize that you are not patriotic as you pretend to be. Reason being that if indeed you want to know, you could have just written directly to whichever authority to make inquiry. If they didn't even respond to you, then you have reason enough to now come and hold a press conference. But it appears now, even if a pin drops, we must hold a press conference on it. If the wind blows, they must hold a press conference on it. And there are different people. And some of the personalities holding this press conference, without trying to want to attack anybody, have become questionable. You see, and it's like a jostling for relevance. Everybody wants to be seen as a star boy. I am the one. And it's not helping the party. It doesn't look, it looks very fractured at the front. And so they need to look at that. Because when you are, seeking clarity, it is different from when you are alleging. You are alleging that you have a document that shows. Why haven't you made it available to the media? Maybe the media, the journalists, they should have questions and ask for that, and then find out what answers they will give. Because imagine that you claim you have a document that is evidence, and you are not able to produce it. And the narrative out there is that, so what exactly is the position of the NPP? President or the government is trying to help the people who have been affected. That one too, they have a problem. Meanwhile, this is the same people who, when they were in power and had over 300 and something million given for flood mitigation, only a fraction of that amount was used. Over 60% was reallocated to COVID. 20-something was for training or vehicles and all of that. So it gives the impression that in local parlance, I don't know, you get my point. It's just, let's find a way to criticize everything. Must there be a press conference over this if genuinely your concern is to find a solution? And if you have gotten some information and you are seeking clarity, then you should write to the Attorney General. You know his office, you can write to seek the clarification. Does it warrant a press conference? But maybe to them it does, and that is why they are doing so. And so I feel that the minority led by Afenyo has not been helpful to the NPP, but it is not in my position to dictate for them or say anything. It's just my opinion. Okay. When it comes to these floods, I was one of the victims during the June 3rd floods in Circle. I was hit hard. So I know what it means when people are victims of this, because I have said time without number that my sister sitting here could be just in need of 500 cedis and will become the richest in this country. Somebody may just need 1,000 cedis and will become the most successful and recruit a lot of young people. Another person will also be given all that amount and cannot be able to make any meaningful impact out of it. There are victims who have actually been affected. We must be looking at how to find solutions to this. I am so strong about discipline and authorities, because waste management is a major issue we have to tackle. You don't separate our waste, how we dispose them off is a major issue. Then also, education is very key. When you look at Japan, Japan knows that their island is an earthquake zone. And therefore, part of their education is to always educate their children about how to stay safe during an earthquake. If we are now saying that, like President Kufuor said, corruption started since Adam. If floods started since the 70s or the 60s, and it is something that even though we put mitigation measures, it will still come anyways, then we must put in measures to begin to learn. Because the purpose of education is to impact and reform. And so if in the past we were learning things about Red Cross, etc., and today we now need to infuse into our education curricula a system that will teach us about sanitation, that will teach us about waste management and disposal, etc. It will help us all. So education is very key in all of this. If we do not start it at the very base, we grow and it becomes a bad habit. Everybody feels it is normal if I finish drinking water, I throw rubbish off I litter the street. They don't see anything even wrong with that. They feel that he's just only him or her. But in the end, we all get to suffer. Okay. Now then also is the authorities that look over for people to see this. If you look in the front page of the Daily Graphic, right, or is it the Daily Graphic, the Nungwa chief did make a categorical statement that he has not sold a single land to those who are occupying Ramsar sites. And so we need to look at who has been doing these things and giving out these places to such people. Right. Just by way of education, lastly. Okay. The name Ramsar site. Ramsar is a city in Iran. Okay. So there's a city in Iran called Ramsar. That was where the Wetlands Convention. The Wetlands Convention. Come again. Okay.
We are talking about 350 that you've taken out. We want it to be transparent, and I agree.
No, that is why I'm asking if you are seeking clarity, because your minority.
But what else are they seeking?
Oh, are they seeking clarity? But they were alleging they have documents. So where is the document? That is why I'm saying that if you want that, you can easily write to the Attorney General. There's an RTI.
This is a flat
press conference that is needed for this.
This is a flat situation that we are talking about. We've lost people, yes. People need to get relief. But that doesn't mean that you should go cut corners and gather, because it's taxpayers.
You haven't proven that corners have been cut yet. You're only alleging.
That is what, no, but it's up to you to give us the evidence.
Okay.
And we've asked for, minority has asked for, but
you said you already have a document.
You turn around and suddenly make it about the minority.
You who said you have a document.
Personalize, and I think
you have not been able to produce a document yet.
They are asking who has oversight over government. Isn't it the parliament? Who keeps government in check? Isn't it the minority?
So the document you have,
ask,
why are you not presenting it to us to see? So you should bring your document. Oh, this is wrong. It is not true. It is not authentic.
But why do you make it about the individuals? Why do you make it about same people want to establish? Your general secretary just gave you a 6 months ultimatum to resign. Isn't he? I can also say that your general secretary is trying to protect himself because he's afraid of a contest.
Fortunately, I'm here to tell you that it was not a decision. It was a neck decision.
When we are talking about national issues, let's take to those things. Let's stop personalizing the issues. You get that everybody wants to have a press conference.
I raised the concern.
No, because you mentioned Afenyo, he said don't do that.
All right. Because what you did when
you have done to tell of that.
All right, so let me do this. So for our sanitation, no, it's okay. That's fine. You've made a point already. I beg you. You've made a point already. It's about the third time. All right, so let me do this. Let me bring this to your attention. So with regards to tomorrow's cleanup exercise, the Zoom Lion Ghana Limited is rallying behind the president's National General Cleanup Exercise. So this is a statement from Zoom Lion Ghana Limited. So Zoom Lion Ghana Limited warmly welcomes and fully endorses the government's declaration of Friday 10th July 2026 and Saturday 11th July 2026 as National General Cleaning Days in the flood-affected regions of the country. We commend His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama for this bold, timely, and decisive intervention following the recent floods. The directive demonstrates strong leadership and a renewed national commitment to protecting lives, safeguarding public health, and restoring environmental sanitation in our communities. As Ghana's foremost waste management company and a trusted partner in environmental sanitation for over 2 decades, Zoom Lion Ghana Limited is fully prepared and committed to supporting the successful implementation of this important national exercise. In line with the President's directive, Zoom Lion, following discussions with the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, is immediately activating its nationwide operational network and placing all its regional, district, and municipal officers together with its extensive fleet of equipment, logistics, and skilled personnel, to support metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies and affected communities. Our support for the 2-day exercise would include, but will not be limited to, deployment of sanitation personnel to support coordinated cleanup exercises, provision of waste collection trucks, cape containers, compactors, and other heavy-duty equipment, evacuation and safe disposal of collected waste and silt from designated collective points or collection points, the silting of drains and waterways to improve water flow and reduce the risk of future flooding, sweeping and cleaning of roads, markets, lorry stations, public spaces, and drainage channels, comprehensive disinfection and sanitation of flood-affected public areas to minimize the risk of disease outbreaks, provision of operational support and technical expertise to MMDAs and other stakeholders throughout the exercise. Zoom Lion further assures the government that our operations will extend beyond the 2-day national exercise where necessary, working closely with the relevant authorities to ensure that affected communities are restored to safe and healthy conditions. The devastating floods have once again reminded us that environmental sanitation is a shared national responsibility. Preventing future disasters requires sustained collaboration among government institutions, private sector organizations, traditional authorities, civil society, and every Ghanaian citizen. We therefore urge all residents, community leaders, business institutions, and civil society organizations to actively participate in this exercise. Together, we can restore our communities, protect public health, and build a cleaner, more resilient Ghana. At Zoom Lion, we remain steadfast in our commitment to delivering innovative and sustainable environmental sanitation solutions that improve lives and protect ecosystems and support national development. Together, let us answer the President's call. Let us clean our communities, protect the environment, and safeguard our future. Clean Ghana, save lives. Communications and Corporate Affairs Directorate, that's issued by them, and it's to all media houses, signed.
So government will accept this?
Yes.
So what went into cancelling his contract?
Well,
Maybe Elikem can answer.
Another discussion for another day because we've run out of time.
You know there were irregularities and concerns raised about that. One may call for a need to properly vet and put in mitigating measures against any future contracts.
Okay, no problem.
That should be the case.
So you think it should be recontracted?
So
it is not in my power.
There's a massive call. Yesterday, Franklin Kujo. Let me read what Franklin Kujo.
Nyankopon we should be ojibre hedge with you dan da say na political trending news e ko any dey eba any dey bebre mu ya beja for any for like jumedi dey say that we na shema nnuano mo busua for na for inside into me enke and I'm present with the Muslim but I don't want that one so say be political trending news be on so ebetumi ake me dey bu we see Afenyo masan makram